friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariane. I am a luxury travel advisor based in Vancouver, Canada, and I have made it to Disneyland Paris. I have always wanted to come here and I am so excited after this is my second park abroad after Tokyo Disneyland earlier in the year. So it is November 2024. And I'm really excited to show you what Disneyland Paris looks like, and this is my special holiday episode. So I just want to start off this episode by saying happy holidays to everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate with you and your family. And yeah, let's kind of get right into it. When you first arrive at Disneyland Paris, you'll actually go through the security checkpoint before heading to the respective parks, either Disneyland Park or the Walt Disney Studios. I did Disneyland Paris first on both days that I visited Disneyland Paris. As the park opened at 9:30 a.m., Minnie and Mickey were greeting everybody as we walked in. Before checking out any of the rides, I looked at a few of the shops here at Main Street, on the hunt for some Disneyland Paris ears, which I found. I did try to include the pricing on most things that you'll see in this video. Hopefully that's helpful. My first ride of the day was Big Thunder Mountain, which I basically could walk right onto. I was actually really surprised that there wasn't any line. Next, I headed over to Adventureland, where I did Indiana Jones: The Temple of Peril, which is another roller coaster that actually has a 360 loop in it. It is super fun, and again, I could walk right on. There was no line whatsoever. So I'm not sure if the end of November is actually a great time to come to Disneyland Paris, but I really didn't have many lines, which I was really impressed by. I did also really use the Disneyland Paris app, which I highly suggest downloading before your visit to Disneyland Paris. Stay tuned to the very end where I'll show a few tips and tricks regarding the Disneyland Paris app. But again, highly suggest downloading it. It's really helpful during your visit to both parks here at Disneyland Paris. My first day here at Disneyland Paris, it did kind of rain off and on, so when it was drizzling a little bit, I did do some of the inside rides, such as Pirates of the Caribbean. I also love how they had these little Christmas markets dotted throughout the parks. They were serving traditional food that you would actually find at a Christmas market in Europe. So it was really fun to see. I then headed over to Discoveryland to check out Hyperspace Mountain. I have to say, I used the single rider line and basically walked again right onto this ride, and I loved it. The starting sequence of this ride is so much fun as you are literally launched into the darkness and start the roller coaster. After the roller coaster, it was time to eat. So I actually did the sweet break, which I got a bottle of water and had a Stormtrooper waffle for €8. They do have different variations of the sweet breaks, so it could be a treat with either a bottle of water or a hot beverage, and I think it's a great offer, and I actually took advantage of it a few times while here at Disneyland Paris. It was then time to hop over to Walt Disney Studios Park. This park is actually undergoing quite a bit of a transformation at the moment. The entrance will be finished sometime in the spring of 2025, and they're actually planning on rebranding this park to Disney Adventure World. They are also building a massive expansion to this park. However, the opening date is still unknown at this time. It was time for another sweet treat. This time I tried one of the Christmas cookies, which was a sugar cookie, and it was actually really delicious. Sometimes you're not sure if the treat is just meant to look good and doesn't taste as good, but this one definitely lived up to the hype. I then went on Crush's coaster, and I did use the single rider line. It was about a 35-minute wait, and the ride was actually a lot of fun. Didn't know what to expect, and this ride surprised me as well. It's definitely a bit of a twisty coaster ride. Highly suggest it. I then went over to check out Ratatouille. Again, here I used the single rider line and walked right on. This area was really cute. It was designed to look like Paris, and I absolutely love the movie Ratatouille, so I was really excited for this one. So it's actually a trackless ride that you're meant to be the size of a mouse, going through Remy's kitchen. It's a lot of fun, and it is a 4D style ride.
Vous serez toujours les bienvenus chez Rémi.
When you exit the ride, you can actually take a peek into Bistro Chez Remy. I wasn't able to dine here this time, but next time I visit Disneyland Paris, it's definitely a place I'm going to be putting on my list. I then took a quick walk through Playland, and you are shrunken down to the size of a toy. It's really fun to walk through, and if you go on the parachute drop, you'll actually see the massive expansion that Disneyland is constructing just on the other side of this area of the park. I checked out Cars Road Trip, which is a tram-style ride, cruises along a road to see the characters from the movie Cars. Afterwards, I checked out the Avengers Training Center, where Spider-Man was putting on a little bit of a performance. It was time to have lunch, so I checked out the Super Diner and had a shawarma. Super Diner is a diner-style quick-service restaurant, and it actually was a pretty decent portion and very filling. It actually tasted a lot better than it looked as well. I headed back over to Disneyland Park and this time went on the Disneyland Railroad. It was starting to trickle a little bit, so I decided that it was a good option to see a little bit more of Disneyland Paris and stay out of the drizzle. Afterwards, I caught Mickey's dazzling Christmas parade, which was a lot of fun to watch. They even had fake snow falling as the parade was taking place. After the parade, I checked out the champagne cart, which is located at the very end of Main Street. Here you'll get a collector flute with champagne that is actually made for Disneyland Paris. I'll also add that they were very generous pours. She actually topped it up even more. However, I had to take a few sips of it before I left the cart because the glass was so full. As it was late afternoon and starting to get dark, it was time to check out some of the more classical rides here in Fantasyland. So first up, I did Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Some of these rides here in Fantasyland are definitely the more classical style of ride. They are very similar to the rides I remember growing up with at California Disneyland. To finish off the night, it was time to watch the Disney Electrical Sky Parade and illuminations. Unfortunately, they couldn't fly the drones due to the weather. However, they still did the light show on the castle and the fireworks. day 2 here at Disneyland Paris, and I was so excited that the sun was going to be coming out. I started my day here at the Cable Car Bakery and tried a Mickey beignet filled with Nutella. It was absolutely delicious and actually a pretty good breakfast. Hi friends, so welcome back to day 2 here at Disneyland Paris, and I just got off of Big Thunder Railway and I absolutely love this ride. Unfortunately it was closed when I was in Tokyo Disneyland, but yeah, so I was able to enjoy it yesterday and also today. One thing I will say is that the lines here in Disneyland Paris in November, so I'm here at the very end of November, the 27th, and today is the 28th of November. It seems to be not that busy. I don't know if that's just general what Disneyland Paris is, but it's actually really great. I love the fact that I can actually do a lot of the rides, just basically walk right on, especially as a single rider. Had a great first day yesterday. Unfortunately, it did rain a little bit. That's why I didn't really show myself too much. But yeah, today, as you can see, the sun is out and I'm going to enjoy another day at the 2 parks here at Disneyland Paris. As today was my last day here exploring Disneyland Paris, I did pick up a few items that I had seen when I was checking out some of the shops, like this Christmas ornament. I thought it was so cute, I needed to buy it. I was tempted by this mug, but I decided against it and picked up the Black Aristocrats mug that I saw yesterday in the shop when I purchased my ears. After a couple more rides, I decided it was time for another sweet break. This time I went to the Old Mill near Fantasyland and ordered the mini pancakes with Nutella. It was a pretty generous portion and they were really, really good. I enjoyed my mini pancakes in the sun with a hot chocolate. I then headed to Sleeping Beauty's castle, which is the castle here at Disneyland Paris, to do a little bit of shopping, as I came here yesterday and had my eye on a special necklace. As this is Sleeping Beauty's castle, you can actually go under the castle and see Maleficent. Highly suggest doing it. Not many people know about it. Very fun and kind of unique. So I have just left Disneyland Park. And now I'm heading over to Walt Disney Studios here at Disneyland Paris. Highly suggest getting the 2 parks per day pass because you definitely can go between the 2 parks easy enough. It's not really like Tokyo or California where you could easily spend one day in one park. So yeah, highly suggest getting the 2 parks per day pass like I did so that you can kind of hop in and out of both parks. So there again was quite a bit of construction and a few things blocked off as Walt Disney Studios will become Disney Adventure World in spring of 2025. My first ride here was the Hollywood Tower of Terror, and this ride is actually Twilight Zone themed. They haven't actually updated this ride to being Guardians of the Galaxy. It was really fun, and it's always a thrill to do this ride. Next up was Avengers Assemble Flight Force. This again is another roller coaster in the dark. It was so much fun. I loved this ride. Hyperspace Mountain I think is still my favorite at Disneyland Paris overall, but this one comes in at a really strong second. So I just finished the Hollywood Tower of Terror and I did the new Avengers ride here, which, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. If you love roller coasters, it was fantastic. Really suggest the Avengers Assemble Flight Force. It definitely has some corkscrews in there and probably even a 360. I'm not 100% sure because it's somewhat in the dark. It was so much fun. And also Hollywood Tower of Terror was good. It is Twilight Zone themed. So now I'm gonna head over to Ratatouille and do that one again because I really enjoyed it yesterday. Kind of reminded me about Beauty and the Beast a little bit. It's kind of that trackless ride that they've got in Tokyo. So I'm going to go over there and film a little bit more, and then I'm going to head back over to Disneyland. So let's go. It was time for lunch, so I headed to Casa de Coco, which is a Mexican-themed quick-service restaurant here at Disneyland Paris. I ordered a beef burrito and the churros with Nutella. It is supposed to be cocoa-themed, and it is quite cute and reminds me of the Mexican restaurants that you would see in Mexico. The food was actually really good, and I really felt that the burrito was really filling. They also have children's-sized portions of the meals as well. I was really recommended to check out The Lion King: Rhythms of the Pride Lands here at Disneyland Paris at the Frontierland Theater. I have to say, this show actually blew me away. I was a little bit skeptical because it is a live show. However, it was absolutely incredible. After the incredible Lion King live experience, I headed to Colonel Hathie's Outpost restaurant for what, again, I was recommended to try the chicken curry and onion Mickey-shaped pizza. The pizza was actually pretty decent, and I enjoyed it. Afterwards, I walked across and got a sweet break of Mickey waffles and another hot chocolate because, unfortunately, the person in front of me got the very last Christmas Mickey or Minnie cake pop. I was so disappointed, but you can kind of see them here. But the waffles and the hot chocolate were still really, really good. It was then time to watch the electrical sky parade, this time with the drones, and of course the fireworks. It was absolutely incredible. I would actually pay to come to Disneyland Paris just to watch this show at night. The Disney songs and everything that it was paired to was absolutely amazing and just brought back so many wonderful memories of childhood. The projections, the music, the fireworks, everything was just so amazing. Obviously, I can't play the sound due to copyright, but hopefully you'll be able to see it one day yourself. It really was a fantastic show and really suggesting to the end to see the illumination show here at Disneyland Paris. I really had a wonderful 2 days here at Disneyland Paris. Again, I really suggest getting a 2-park per day pass. It really does make the most sense to do that. Also, Disneyland Paris is very easy to get to from downtown Paris. That's actually where I stayed and took the RER out to Disneyland Paris each day. I also suggest downloading the Disneyland Paris app. Here is where I actually had my tickets, so I could easily scan into each park in the morning and when I decided to hop to the other parks. It's so useful. It literally has everything you need to plan your days at Disneyland Paris, from the opening hour times to all the times for the parades, the shows, everything. It's all in the app and really easy to access. I'll also say that if your tickets are in your app, you can easily purchase the Premier Access passes or the Fast Passes to get into the fast lanes. Also, another thing I appreciated was the map that is also included. It's really easy to use. You can see the different times of the attractions and the wait times. And also, if you wanted to select where it says attractions, you can change it to where all the restaurants are, the quick service meals, the shows, characters, even toilets, drinking fountains. It was really, really useful for when I was actually here at Disneyland Paris. So really suggest utilizing the app to make your visit to Disneyland Paris a memorable one. Well, friends, welcome to Koh Samui in Thailand. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching this episode from Disneyland Paris and my holiday special episode. It is New Year's Eve here in Koh Samui, and I just want to wish you all a very happy holidays and a very happy new year. And I want to thank you for coming along with me on this journey. If you are interested in more of my videos, please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below, as I'm here on Koh Samui actually catching up on a lot of videos that I actually filmed in 2024. And now I'm going to be filming a few videos from Thailand and also visiting after this Japan and then back to Bali. So be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and follow me over on Instagram, because that is where I actually live post to my stories a lot of what's happening. If you did enjoy this video and found it very helpful, please give it a thumbs up, as it does help support my channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.